In the next bit, we are going to talk about who to talk to, and we are mainly talking about problems, but not only for problems. A lot of it, or a lot of studying and probably work afterwards as well, is about communication. And a lot of problems can be talked out or sorted with talking to somebody, and also a lot of information can be gathered by talking to somebody. For example, if you're interested in writing a master thesis, it's very helpful to talk to teaching assistants or professors in classes you are taking with them previously, and build up contact and start communication, which usually makes further communication easier. So let's talk about who to talk to. And of course, this list is not extensive, and it's a very short overview and more like a link collection, just to give you an idea where people might be that you could talk to, basically. And your takeaway is there are many people who are there to assist you, or who are responsible for certain things and can help you with these things. So don't worry, get help, talk to somebody, get it sorted, or find out more, depending on what your goal is. Somebody you can talk as is the FREDERICKSON. Hi, we are students, and so at your level basically, just here a little bit longer, or in my case a lot longer. And in case of doubt, come to us, especially when it's related to your studies or the university. You will talk to other students, or we can sometimes put you in touch with other students. And in many cases, we will pass on what we've learned from you through committees, or pass it on directly to the relevant people. And we can help you navigate the university systems. And we know a lot of people and a lot of the structure of this university. So if you don't know who to go to, ask us. Usually we know, or we can find out. And one way to talk to us is to just send us an email or come visit us in our room when it's not in lockdown. And another way is our anonymous feedback, which is on our website, where you can pass on anonymous information about a great course you had and you want to give feedback but not suck up to the lecture. That would be a way to give it. And of course, you can always report problems. Please make use of it if you have need to it. Just save the link and use it when needed. And we're always happy to help you with tips and tricks and our own experiences for further things. And for the rest of the information on who to talk to, it's structured mainly by which administrational identity is offering it. So we see several problems represented at several levels, which is typical. It's like local government, federal government, or local, state and federal government, or EU. So lots of people dealing with the same things at different levels with different focuses often. But it's good that you have a choice, and usually you will be passed on to the person who is the correct one to deal with your question. Okay, at our lovely faculty. The general point of addressing questions is a student advisory service staffed by students who get paid to answer your questions. They know the regulations and some of the courses which they have taken personally as students here. Of course, not every of our over 300 modules, but usually you have taken a class with a professor, so you have at least a basic impression. And they can help you with a lot of things. There's also our mentoring program, which has a program for bachelor first semesters every winter semester, where you can tutor for 3 credits, by the way. And there's also Maria and Louis, who are the teaching assistants responsible for the mentoring program. And in case of doubt, they are great people to talk to as well. We have a woman's representative, which is currently Diana, which is a lovely person to talk to as well. And we have Wolfgang Brandenburg, who is responsible for the study abroad programs at our faculty level. If you want to go study abroad, plan early, at least 6 months. If you want to go overseas, I would recommend a year in advance. And We have some interesting double degree programs, so check it out like this week. And any questions you have, go to Wolfgang Brandenburg. He has the overview and knows all the things. And there's the examination board, which is not administering examinations, that's the examination office. The examination board is dealing with all the individual cases and specific regulations. For example, if you wanna take a written exam as an oral exam, so you can go on your year abroad because a written exam is offered too late, then you would get permission from the examination board to take an oral exam instead. That's one of the things the examination board would do. Then you can get help at the ASTA, the General Students Committee. This is students. It's financed via a small fee from your semester fee, and there is professional advising or for university and academic advising. There's social and BAföG counseling, so for financial troubles or insurance, stuff like that. If you're unsure what to do, if you're new in Germany, that would be the place to go to find out more. And also very helpful advising for international students if you have troubles with your visas and stuff like that. They have people who have a lot of knowledge in this area and also employ lawyers or hire lawyers for certain amounts of time to deal with the more complicated cases and give you the advice to really sort things out. And in a lot of cases, especially for the university and academic advising, there's many things we can sort at our faculty level by talking to the professor or somebody responsible, and there are some cases where we can do nothing, and then it's definitely off to the university and academic advising service, and in many cases they can do something. The General Students Committee, the ASTA, also has a technic pool and a finance department where you can lend equipment for student projects. For example, if you want to do a demonstration for students' rights or whatever, you could hire microphones and loudspeaker equipment and walkie-talkies and all that stuff for your security people. And there's also a finance department where you can get certain amounts of money for projects that you have to present. And they have departments for different topics and independent departments for certain groups, like women or students of color, I think. These change from year to year, so if you think there should be one for a group you belong to, it's also an idea to get in touch with the ASTA and see about maybe getting one. And yeah, the ASTA also organizes, at least in the winter semester, a critical orientation week, which is in addition to the general introduction into university and looks more at the background of why we are doing things and should they be done that way, than the how to do it, which we offer here. Then at the central university level, you have a variety of services. You have the academic advising service, which offers advice on general topics like time management. Should I change my major? Should I stop studying? Should I continue? Like these things. Whereas the student advisory service at the faculty level is more focused on our specific courses of study and what does changing from electrical engineering to computer engineering, and what does it mean? How many courses can I take with me? How much progress do I lose? Stuff like that. But yeah, for general topics, this would be the academic advising service, and they are also the kind of people, like, if you don't know who to talk to, trying them is not a bad idea. They will try to help you. We have a family services office for students with children, or for students who care for relatives, or for students who are soon to be having children. And there is some services offered. There are rooms and stuff. If you want to know about these things, check them out. there is psychological counseling. This can be help with dealing with stress with examination. It can also be help with stress with suddenly being in a new country, in a new city, not knowing anybody and struggling, which is absolutely not shameful. So if you feel like something is not right, please get help, and this is one of the places where you can get it. If they are overbooked, there are other places to go to, which we'll come to later. And there's an advising and support service for students with illnesses or disabilities, and they will let you know how to apply for certain compensations, for example, and how to get support, also like paid support. In some cases, somebody come with you to take notes for a lecture, for example, if you cannot do that for yourself because you cannot see. Stuff like that. Yeah, they know all the details and how it works and how to get the available support. There is information on how to study and working in Europe and overseas, and how to get permits with permits of residence. There is the examination office, which mostly deals with all the administrative stuff around exams and in the end handing out your degree. The former is more general purpose for everything, like everything everybody has to do. That's usually the examination office, whereas the examination board is for specific things like stuff that only concerns me or my specific case and not like everybody. But that's a rule of thumb and not always right. And in case of doubt, if you send something to the examination office that is supposed to go to the examination board, it will be forwarded. Yeah, and we have the Center for Campus Management, which is the central IT service. This would be if you have problems with your Wi-Fi on campus or with your accounts, or if you don't get your TAN numbers or all this, like if you have entered your very complicated 25 signs long password incorrectly 2 times while registering it and need to reset it. All these things is the Center for Campus Management. They have a help desk office where you can go to in person or send an email and get a reply sometime, or get in the call line and wait for hours, but eventually they will get to you. And very important for refugees, we have a program HowTU, which allows refugees to study before all the paperwork is settled and to get German courses and basically to enter university as fast as possible. If that is relevant to you or somebody you know, let them know. HowTU is the place to go to get it all sorted and get started here. Another thing which is very helpful is the university library. They have a website which is not up to date on this slide, so we will post that in the comments. You can get textbooks, some of them you can get online, but you can get a lot of it in print as well from the actual building. You can get access to databases, and they are also offering consultations and seminars. They have regular coffee lectures, as they are called, which are around noon and like half an hour on some technique, which can be very interesting. And you can book work carols if you need like your own little bit of a library to work and concentratedly and leave your stuff around. For example, when you write your final thesis, you can book one of these carols there. And they have a lot of other stuff, and they have lovely social media presences where you can stay up to date on everything they're offering and know what's going on in the library. Then we have the Studierendenwerk, which is an administrative structure where all students in Berlin are part of. We're all paying part of our semester fee towards this. And this is paying, among other things, for housing, for cafeterias, and for several types of counseling. There's psychological and psychotherapeutic counseling, and they have a lot more therapeutic offers than the university because it's a bigger entity, so always check there. They have counseling on study financing and on academic writing, which can also be very helpful. There are courses and individual counseling for academic writing, so if that's something you want to work on, this would be a place to go. And they also have culture offers. They have art shows, a choir, film stuff, like check it out if you're interested. They also offer stuff like online games and expeditions around Berlin, so really make use of this offer if you're interested in meeting people and getting to know the area. And yeah, fun fact, since the cafeterias were in lockdown, there's also now a cooking show where you can learn to cook meals that you can eat in the cafeteria normally. And you can also buy a cookbook. And yeah, as said, this is not an extensive list. There are other people, other interesting people to meet and to talk to. So talk to people, and if you don't know who to talk to, ask somebody, and much will be revealed. For example, in our next video, tips and tricks.